Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Duck Talk. My name is Eric Lateska. I will be your host for this episode. Today we have with us Todd Turcotte. Todd, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for asking me. It's my pleasure.
Todd is a member of the DPBA, Duckpin Professional Bowlers Association Hall of Fame. He's also a member of the Bowlers Association of Connecticut Hall of Fame. He is the proprietor of Highland Bowl in Cheshire, Connecticut. And he's also currently the president of the Duckpin Professional Bowlers Association. So, Todd, I'm just going to kick this off talking about the Eastern. You know, here we are at the greatest tournament in all of Duckpin, the longest, the tournament that's been run the most consecutive years, 85 years this year. We know that you've had some success here in the past. It's very recently coming in second place. So tell us what makes this event special for you.
It's one of the rare events now, especially when I bowled for a long time. It's the 2 6-game blocks that really make it. It's 12 games. You have to come in mentally ready for 2 different shifts. You can excel in one shift and then do poorly in the next, or vice versa. You can do poorly and then excel. It just requires total concentration for the entire weekend. You bowl with a bunch of different people that you never get to bowl with. And now those things here and just the history of the tournament, some of the great names that have won the tournament, it just makes it so good to bowl. It's exciting to bowl. It's one of the rare tournaments that's left that just brings out that, you want to go and win, the Eastern Classic and be one of those rare people that have done it, especially the ones that have done it 2 or 3 times. As amazing as that is, how consistent they can be. It's just amazing event.
Yeah. Ask anybody who's got a win, and they will tell you it's truly an honor to be in the group of people who's won this thing.
Absolutely true.
Yeah. So, what about do you have a favorite memory, either as a spectator or as a bowler?
I remember going back into the 80s when you would walk in between shifts, and the crowd, the spectators are all following. The people that are winning, or the big groups that are in the lead, or whoever was in those memories. It pushed me to want to still bowl the Eastern. Like when you come in and it was, a full shift. You had 40 bowlers bowling, and you had, 100 people in the background pointing out guys who were winning or in the lead or just had a big game to bring themselves up. Those are the memories back during that time that just make the tournament so great. When you look at those great crowds that they used to have, it was amazing. Yeah, those are the things that stand out the most.
It's still a lot to be excited about as a spectator.
Absolutely.
At this
it still brings
too.
in people to watch.
Yeah,
no
absolutely.
doubt. Especially now with Duckpin TV, that gives you the coverage that you used to get when you used to come. Now you can, people that are far away can get that extra boost to the Eastern. It brings it up another level.
Yeah, and you mentioned some of the history. Duckpin TV's produced a couple of events or a couple of segments where we're talking about the history of the event and covering some historic performances and over the course of about 85 years, some really amazing things have happened. So make sure if you haven't seen them that you tune into them, folks. So now, last year, DPBA president currently and for the next year, last year and next year. Can you give us a recap of last season? Maybe just some of the highlights.
Well, last year we had the 8 stops. There was, we strive to go to that 80 entry mark to do the bracket formats. We had a $10,000 tournament at Hagerstown. And the format that we did use last year was only successful in a couple events, and we used the regular ladder format. I thought consistency was key. Prize list balance was key. And I thought those were some of the great things that Pro Tour last year was run, where the bowlers themselves supported it, and it was designed to maintain the level of competition for the ones that wanted to be there. And I thought that was very important.
Yeah.
And it was some good wins, some first timers, and it was it was exciting for the members that wanted to be there. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, in fact, you had some good wins. There was the bowler from Canada, Nate. What's his last name? It escapes me.
Nate.
Congratulations.
He came out the first tournament.
First time he'd ever
30 games to qualify.
Yeah. And not only qualified well, and then went through and just won the event outright.
Yeah, that was very exciting.
There's not that often that you hear somebody the first time that they ever duckpin bowled, they won a professional tour.
Imagine that.
It's incredible.
Some of us work for years and years and years and don't even qualify, and this gentleman comes in from Canada, and throws a 2:32, I believe it was, to qualify, and then goes on to win. It's amazing.
Yeah, incredible.
How's it happen?
You also had so Mike Steiner doing really well at the beginning of the year.
Back-to-back wins for Mike this year. Yep.
You had Don surpass Jeff as Don Dove.
For the all-time.
My apologies. Surpassed Jeff Piles for all-time most wins. That's quite an accomplishment. It was an active season for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely. Definitely, and those guys still continue to compete. I mean, Mike's at a high level. Don bowled this weekend in the Eastern, and he still bowl at a high level. They just are so competitive and good at what they do all the time consistently. It's amazing to watch them.
Yep, and all of them try to make it out for the Eastern. They love this.
They do. Yeah.
So, all right, Todd. Now, it's no secret that that participation on the tour was down pretty significantly last year over the year before.
Correct.
So, what does the governing body and you as the president of the DPBA, what do you guys have in the works to sort of right the ship and get people out on tour?
Well, when you say the membership was down and the entries are down, that's absolutely true. There's so many different factors that come into play, and as the governing body looks at factors of travel conditions, hotel expenses, entry fees, and just general bowling interest to keep, like those exciting moments we talked about. The bowlers that don't go to the events like they used to miss out on those events. I mean, years ago, Duckpin Bowling was the Pro Tour was the event of the weekend. People wanted to go. They couldn't wait to get there. Now it's like a factor of the weekend. So, we're trying to incorporate these stops and schedule them on better times. We went to 7 stops instead of 8, putting stops in houses that have been very supportive of the tour, that have good amenities for the tour, and really want us there. As it's the last entity that gets free lineage. It's donated from the proprietors association centers. We've structured prizes to be more friendly, keep the entry fee where we are, and we know that some guys don't like to pay the higher entry fees. They think that money, but it all supports itself, and it's balanced, it's fair, and we're trying to do some grassroots and get in touch with the members that haven't been bowled in a while. Let them know, hey, we're here. You can bowl. These events are affordable. They're nice. They're in centers that really enjoy having us, want to host us, and just the word of mouth and talking. I mean, Duckpin TV, obviously, this is a great way to let people know how to get, back into the tour. We're easy to reach through email. You can call us. You can ask us. We're going to do some more mailers, some grassroots efforts to get some people back in, and we hope that's going to be successful. We're limited as to what people have in finances, and that we can't control. But we can control where the events are and how we run them, and the formats that we use to get people in. And hopefully through those methods that we can keep the consistency, and entry solid, and work forward from there. I think I look forward to this season. I think we got a lot of interest in bowling still, and I think the bowlers will come out and bowl because it is the most competitive thing in Duckpin bowling.
All right, so that's a perfect way to segue into my last question for you, okay? So we'll give you an opportunity here to do the commercial. So look into the camera right there, and tell your bowlers, your members, why they got to come out and bowl the Pro Tour this season.
You have to come out and bowl the Duckpin Pro Tour because it is the best entity that Duckpin bowling still has. It's the most rewarding, and it's the most competitive. So if you're there watching us now, you need to be out supporting us later in the 7 events that we have this year in the DPBA. Come on out, schedule's online, and you can come see us and join us, have a great time.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Todd. And that's it for us. Stay tuned for the next episode of Duck Talk.